See this? See what you're looking at? This is Windows 10. This is Windows 10 Smart Menu or Dumb Menu or frickin' Start Menu or whatever you want to call it. You know, I started using PCs back when Vista came out, and I was really, really unhappy with Vista. And then frickin' Windows 7 came out, and I thought, finally Windows is okay. I've never wanted a Mac because Macs are way overpriced. It's all garbage. All the computers are garbage made in China. So I was refusing to support some yuppie to buy an overpriced Mac. So I got into PCs, and then I was happy when Windows 7 came out. I mean, it took me forever to learn how to use that because I'm not all that smart. I'm actually kind of stupid. But I'm smart enough to know when I see something like this, there's something seriously wrong. Anyways, so about a few years ago, I was thinking of buying another laptop, and they had Windows 8 on it. And I saw a similar thing like this, a bunch of weird squares on it in 8. And that's why I didn't buy that laptop. I figured I was going to hold out until they came back to Earth with something normal, that a normal human being could figure out. Instead, they have all these engineers that have nothing better to do, that understand their little technical garbage complicated world when an average normal person can't even figure out how to use it. It's pointless to have technology, and this goes with frickin' Android phones too. Those aren't user friendly. They made those too complicated to use, and they could have made those simple, easier. And I basically look at the internet mostly, since the porn has improved, for the porn and searching information. If I want to look up information, I don't need all this garbage. Who needs this garbage? And so anyways, I currently have Windows 7. That's what I'm running on this. I have Windows 7. I got this screenshot off the internet. And I have Windows 7 on this PC. And then I have two other PCs with Windows 7. And to try to force this garbage is totally unfair. And for them to keep trying to force their garbage on me is totally ridiculous. And force this garbage of Windows 10 is totally ridiculous. And it makes me totally lose respect for Microsoft and the PC. I can't believe how stupid they are. I mean, these guys would probably make more in 1 year than I'll ever make in a lifetime. And then they invent frickin' more garbage that you don't need. And they talk about saving the environment and helping out the environment and all that. And how you can have all these features to save electricity on your computer, like in 7 or whatever and all that. And then they just make stuff that's going to end up in the trash and create more garbage anyways. Yeah, I don't need this stuff. I don't need any of this. I mean, the only good thing I can really say, which I really, really don't like to do about this, is that at least eventually someday they'll have it coordinated to where you can have Skype and your email and your Facebook, which all tied into one. That's the only positive thing that I could really say about this stuff. But other than that, it's complete garbage. It's useless to me. And I don't like you ramming your garbage down my throat and interfering with my Windows 7. If you keep doing it, I'll never buy another Microsoft product again. And when they came out with 8, you think PC manufacturers would get fed up, or computer manufacturers would get fed up and stop putting Microsoft products on their computers at all because they made it worse. I mean, ergonomically, who's going to use a touch screen on a normal computer? It's bad for your shoulder. If you have an injury or something, it's bad to stretch out and try to reach and push something. This isn't even a touch screen. Once I saw that, I thought, how ridiculous. How freaking ridiculous. I mean, okay, maybe you might want to use it on like a tablet or a whatever they call them, a touchpad or phone or something. I can see that. But where you got to physically reach out, ergonomically, that's not good for your body, you know. You're better off using a mouse, and I have enough of trouble using those as it is. So, as usual, you've created a bunch of garbage that's all for the frickin' advertisers. It's all for the mind control of the big corporations that want to brainwash you and shove their garbage down your throat. And I'm not even mentioning, and then the only updates, they want to force their frickin' updates and morph my poor innocent computer with Windows 7 with all this stuff on it. You know, and they're going to try and destroy my Windows 7. I totally lose respect for the corporation, and I want nothing to do with. I mean, if they did a survey, how many people want this, and how many people want to stick with 7, they'd probably say 7. And I've written a lot of stories where people actually switch back to 7 after trying this for a while. You know, I think if Microsoft cut a deal where they said, yeah, if you pay $20, we'll improve 7 and keep it the way it is and not make it too weird like this, and we'll rather than having it go out and say there's 5 years or 4 years left support on it, we'll add another 4 or 5 years for $20. I'd pay the $20 rather than deal with this crap. You know, I mean, if it's about the money, why don't they do that? Why don't they let people that have Windows 7, which is the one Windows that actually worked halfway decently, you know, why not let people have that and have a choice? And if they want to pay, I mean, if it's about the money, they wouldn't pay $20, $30 or whatever to continue to have 7 and be supported indefinitely on that, that's fine. But it's unfair to force people to have to spend half their lives have to know technology that's basically useless, that's unhelpful, you know. And as far as the spyware goes and all that stuff, and spy updates, well, what the most idiots don't realize is that they're spying on you whether you're using an iPhone or an Android or whatever. So all the hocus pocus about Windows 10 having a bunch of spyware on it, well, wake up. They've been doing that for years. That isn't my concern. It's just all this other garbage. Totally other garbage. Like your desktop here is in a little box. This isn't even on my computer because I won't even put this on. I had to get this off. And then this. What's this? Another game? What do I want to play games for? You know, I'd rather watch porn. Porn is a better waste of my time than playing a stupid game. You know, and all games do is program people's minds for the industrial military complex, because all it is fight and flight, fight and flight, fight and flight instinct, and it teaches you to fight other people and enemies. Who wants to have a mindset like that? And then this, somebody's freaking birthday. Well, if I can't remember somebody's birthday that I know that's a good friend of mine, I shouldn't be alive. And if they're not a good enough friend where I can't remember their birthday, then why do I want to be phony and pretend like I remember it? And who wants to remember their birthday? Who wants to remember they're getting old and they're going to get sick and they're going to die? I don't. I don't even celebrate my own birthday. So that's basically useless. I don't want anything to do with that at all. You know? It's crazy. I don't celebrate my own birthday. I don't want to be reminded. I'm already getting old and weak and I've had cancer and I'm sick. Well, that's the last thing I need, is to remember that I'm going to get old and die. And what's this thing here? Is this like promoting, oh, this might be good. This might be promoting porn. It's got a couple of hot chicks there and all that stuff. And that might be okay, actually. And then weather. Okay, well, if I can't look outside and figure out the weather, or if I can't look it up myself on the frickin' internet, then I got some serious frickin' problems. If I think I need weather stuffed in my face, or if I can't remember when I watched it last on the news, you know. Okay, Skype, that's the one useful thing that they've come up with where you can actually talk to other human beings and look at their face and see that they're actually another human being rather than a bot or a computer like all the other places. And then this, okay, what do I need news for? What do I need this garbage for? Brainwash, controlling propaganda from corporations that half of it's lies? I mean, this is a half-truth. The lunar eclipse. Plus, I'm on the other side of the world. I can't see this. I can't see this eclipse. So this is actually torture because I can't see it and I wanted to see it. And this, sports. I freaking hate sports. I nothing against athletes or nothing, but you know, and I used to be a jock, but I can't play sports anymore. Why do I want to watch somebody else do it? I'd rather watch porno. Then I can watch other people do things that eventually I won't be able to do. But this is just ridiculous. And what's this here, stock? Oh yeah, I want to see how much money I'm losing. Or whatever, you know. I don't really care about stock. And if I go to stocks, I'm going to go to a special freaking thing that shows me a lot about stocks. And I'm not into stocks anymore. It's just a big casino where people lose money. And everybody knows that. Why do you want to know about a gambling casino? You know? And what's this thing? Photos. Well, yeah. Maybe, what's this? Camera what? Whose camera? Where? It doesn't even explain. And all they do is you download all these updates and they don't even say how to use their garbage. You know, that's the non-stop story. What's this thing? I don't even know what that is. So that doesn't do me any good. And I don't even know what that is. Oh, that reminds me of what they did. Oh, this reminds me of what they did to frickin' Hotmail. This junk right here. That's a sore spot in me. You know, my very first email was Hotmail. And I had Hotmail for years until my real name that I used in my Hotmail got spammed by 1 billion people, where every time I checked my email, I had to go through 300 junk mails just to get to an email from my friend, like the normal mail that you get at your house and all that stuff. And then what did they do? They freaking took the Hotmail and they made it so you had to shift screens. Years ago, you could use Hotmail and you had your contacts, you had your emails, compose email, edit email or whatever, and it was all on one screen. It was all on one page. And then they came out with this junk with the frickin', it's not Hotmail anymore, it's something else. And you can't even navigate it from one page. That's when I stopped using Hotmail. If you can't do everything from one page, why bother doing it at all? So they basically destroyed Hotmail, and that's when I stopped using it. And now you know why. And that's from a real consumer giving you a real opinion. Spy on that. Why don't you spy on what I don't like and fix it with your Hotmail or OneMail or whatever they call it now? You know, I'm not going to freaking ever use Hotmail again until they make it back to one page where you can do everything on one page. It's senseless. That's what that thing reminds me of right there. And what's this here? Let's see. Ask the experts. Who are the freaking experts? You ask the experts where to go in November. I'll tell you where to go in November. I'm an expert. Everybody's a freaking expert. What experts? All it is that's just advertising. It's to suck money out of your pocket to get you to go on a vacation that they say is good, which will probably be in a third world country. You'll probably get robbed and mugged, you know, and maybe even kidnapped. So what experts from who and who's getting paid what to give you that information? This is just part one. I'm just getting started.